The CEO of Hasbro has some, well, concerning things to say about the future of AI in D&D.
I thought we were past all this.
Another week, another controversy surrounding AI in Dungeons & Dragons. Earlier this month, Hasbro CEO Chris Cocks had a wide-ranging interview with GamesBeat, where the subject of AI came up several times. Now, in case you live under a rock, it seems like every company is looking for ways to make AI optimize business and generate new forms of revenue, and Cocks seems to be no exception. Now, we're going to share the full interview in a link in the description to this video, but we'll pull out some highlights and talk about it a little bit. GamesBeat asked Cocks about the potential of using AI in regards to Hasbro's franchises, and noted that the Wheel of Time recently developed an AI program that was trained only on the Wheel of Time books. Cocks responded, "First off, we're doing R&D efforts around AI. I think most major entertainment and IP holders are at least thinking about it. The key there is the responsible use of it. We have an even higher bar we need to hit because we serve audiences of all ages." A bit later in the interview, he says, "The advantage we have, it's funny, this is cutting-edge technology, and Hasbro is a 100-year-old company, which you don't usually think is, usually you think there's a threat there. But when you talk about the richness of the lore and the depths of the brands, D&D has 50 years of content that we can mine. Literally thousands of adventures that we've created. Probably tens of millions of words we own and can leverage. Magic the Gathering has been around for 35 years. More than 15,000 cards we can use in something like that." He goes on to say, "We can leverage all of that to be able to build very interesting and compelling use cases for AI that can bring our characters to life. We can build tools that aid in content creation for users or create really interesting gamified scenarios around them." Now, obviously, this is all hypotheticals and, as he mentioned, in the R&D phase, but it certainly looks like Cocks is looking into the possibility of creating AI programs trained using D&D adventures and other content that's already owned by Hasbro. Now, this could be something as innocent as, what's functionally a quick search program like the aforementioned Wheel of Time database, or it could be something a bit more pervasive like an AI DM. Similar to what Wizards swore it wasn't developing back during the OGL debacle last year. The fact that Hasbro knows it's sitting on a huge database of D&D and Magic assets is also a little bit worrisome, especially if it wants to go down a route of training generative AI models to make images based on all that art that it has the rights to. Cocks also adds, speaking of the OGL debacle, that the OGL debacle of 2023 and the lessons Hasbro learned from that would help the company navigate AI issues in the future. "We certainly weren't at our best during some points of the open game license, no duh. But I think we learned pretty fast," he says. "We got back to first principles pretty quickly. The 20 plus years that the open game license has been in existence for something like D&D, I think that gives us a lot of experience to navigate what will emerge with AI, and generally, the development of user-based content platforms, whether it's Roblox or Minecraft or what Epic has up its sleeves. It seems like similar to how D&D pivoted away from creating a walled garden with their proposed new OGL and pivoted towards creating a marketplace where they can just get a cut of the profits. It seems like that's what they want to do with this AI stuff. Why worry about stopping AI when they can just create their own AI program and monetize it?" Now finally, Cocks also noted that he uses AI in his D&D campaigns. He uses an AI art generator and ChatGPT to help him with game building. Now, that's not exactly a crime or anything extreme, provided that he's using it for personal use, but it's a bit unethical considering he probably doesn't have the rights to use the images that generative AI was trained off of. And it's another sign that Cocks just isn't considering the possibilities of AI. He's already someone who uses it. Now, the way that Cocks talks about AI seems like Hasbro is just being cautious before rolling anything out, and that's probably a good thing. And it seems like they want to create an AI program that instantly makes image assets or even a short encounter, and that's all trained using assets that they already own. Provided that these programs aren't a replacement for actual D&D adventures, the ones made by actual humans, it's not necessarily a straight up evil idea. If they're not going to be making AI generated D&D adventures that they then sell, I don't like it, but it certainly could be a lot worse. However, we will note that AI has really failed to capture the creativity of the human mind, the spark behind any D&D adventure or story or piece of artwork. It's probably not the end of the world to use AI as a tool, like how Cocks uses AI to pump out art for his C-suite game of D&D, but you have to remember that D&D is built upon layers and layers of creativity that range from professional artists all the way to somebody doodling a sword on his character sheet. Cocks mentioned that he uses an AI art generator because he's bad at art, and that ignores the fact that D&D encourages creativity, even if someone is bad at art, or writing, or acting, or anything like that. That's what D&D is built on. It's built around expressing yourself creatively, even if you aren't good at it. That is the grassroots of D&D, and it's been that way since day one. And honestly, it just feels like Cocks is missing one of the fundamental points of D&D. And that is why this interview and his thoughts on AI don't bode well for the future. Anyways, that's my rant about AI this week. Let us know what you think about Cox's comments in the comments below. And don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.